Heather.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in today. I really appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you for seeing me.
All right, well, this is our first session, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over something called our informed consent. And this is basically a document that is intended to inform you of the policies that we have, some of the laws, and your rights as a client. So I'm just going to briefly kind of go over this so you know everything there is to know about what's going to happen in our sessions, okay?
Okay.
So if you have any questions or concerns at any time, please feel free to ask me and I will do my best to inform you, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the counseling process. It is my job to help you understand your feelings and to help you come up with ways to change undesired behaviors or thoughts that you may have. I'm not going to be doing something for you. We're going to work together to come up with a good solution and a good plan. I can't guarantee the outcome of counseling, but if you are willing to participate and commit to this process, it will really greatly influence how beneficial it is for you, okay? So with me, I tend to lead toward a reality therapy process, and what that is something also known as choice therapy. So we will work together to focus on problem solving and to help you make better choices and achieve your goals. I do understand that every person is different, so if something isn't working, I'm more than happy to utilize other techniques to kind of come up with a process that fits you personally, okay? That being said, this process is a partnership, but I want you to know that you are ultimately the leader in deciding the best course of treatment for yourself, okay? I am available for if you need to contact me at a time other than our sessions. You can reach me by phone, and if I'm not immediately available, you can leave a non-confidential message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But if it is an emergency, do not hesitate to call 911 or to go to your nearest emergency room. So our sessions most likely will be ran about 45 to 15 minutes. We may change that depending on your process and how everything's going, so it will kind of be a week-to-week basis, but if you feel like you're needing more sessions or less, we can kind of work with that. Let's talk a little bit about confidentiality. So everything you say to me in this room will remain confidential. You don't have to worry about me telling anybody that you're even here coming to see me. However, there are a few situations where I would have to alert the appropriate authorities, and in these cases it would be if you were having plans to hurt yourself, that meaning suicidal ideations or self-mutilation, things like that. So if you were hurting yourself, if you were hurting someone else, or you knew of somebody hurting someone else, so that could be any kind of sexual or physical abuse, or if anybody is hurting you, or if you do know somebody that is hurting. So in those kind of situations, I would have to alert the appropriate authorities for the reason of safety. However, if these did occur, I would do my very best to inform you before I had to go and report them, so then you were aware of the situation happening, okay? And if you need to read more about this confidentiality agreement here, I will give you a copy so you can kind of see exactly everything that follows in that, okay? All right, and so by law, I have to give you a copy of our HIPAA Act. And basically, if you know nothing about HIPAA, it is your privacy rights, and kind of it describes what information is in your file and how it is used. It is required by law that we give you this, You can do whatever you would like with it, but it is here for your reading. So I will give you a copy of that. Let's see. All right. I may be taking notes during some of our sessions, but I want you to know that they are kept confidential and will be locked away in a secure location in my office. These are just notes that are used for my personal use and determining the best treatment plan for you. But if at any time you would like to have a copy or you would like to see these, all you have to do is sign a written request and we can get those copies to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we'll talk a little bit now about your insurance and reimbursement. Typically, a normal fee for our 15-minute session is $100. However, we do accept insurance and different things. So if you would just like to contact my billing department, we can help come up with a payment plan that works best for you and process any insurance that you may have, okay? So if you have any questions with that, my billing department would be more than happy to assist you. Okay. So Heather, you do have the right to refuse service. If at any time you feel like you just have to quit, that's more than fine. You don't even have to provide a reason why. In addition, I also have the right to refuse service. Failure to pay for any of your appointments can be a reason. There will be no inappropriate sexual advances that happen. Or threats of violence. All things like this can terminate our relationship in the counseling process, okay? And if at any time you are unhappy with the services you receive here, I would really appreciate you come to me and we can talk about these things. If we are unable to come up with a plan or to work through your concerns, I would be more than happy to refer you to a different counselor that might fit you better, okay? So if you at any time feel like I've done something that is unprofessional, it is your right to report this to the Idaho Bureau of Occupational Licenses, and I do have a contact information here on the informed consent that you can visit the website or call if you need to, okay? So, do you have any questions about this informed consent? I know I went over it pretty quickly and briefly.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. No, I don't think I have any questions. So.
Okay. Well, I will give you a copy of this here and a copy of HIPAA. And just by your next visit, I would really appreciate if you went over it, fully read this, and then brought it back to me signed.
Okay.
You could do?
Okay, so you want me to bring it back signed? You don't want me to sign it right now or anything?
Well, if you just sign that I've given you this information and that you have received the informed consent and that you have received the HIPAA, I'd have you sign right now. But then you can read this more fully in detail when you're at home and we're not paying for a session.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So where do you want me to sign?
Sign right here. Right here.
Okay.
With the pen that you have right there. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So I will make sure before you leave that we will get you a copy and you can read at home.
Perfect.
Okay, so now that we have that over and done with, what would you like to talk about today, Heather?
I think I just am finally at a place where I just decided I needed to come talk to somebody because I am just really getting overwhelmed with stress and stuff going on. And
You want to tell me a little bit more about that, the stress that's going on in your life?
Oh man, where to start? Okay, so it's just easier if I just list it. So I do work full time, work about 35 hours a week, and I work for the school district. And I work at the middle school level, and they changed our bus schedule this year, or our bell schedule. And so I work from 8:30 to 4, and that is like, I didn't think that was going to be a problem, but just with everything else going on, that time frame has just become really stressful for me because I mean, 8:30, you know, you're getting ready for work in the morning and got everything going on, so you can't get anything, like, you can't go run errands or anything before work.
Right.
And then getting off at 4, you know, everything needs to be done by 5. Like, I can't schedule any appointments. I've had multiple errands to run because of other stuff that was going on, and I just can't get anything done,
Right.
you know.
It's just kind of right in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's a terrible time.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So, and then I have 3 kids. My oldest is in college, and when he went to college, he took the car, you know, that is his car, that his brothers had been driving it for the last couple of years because he was away for a couple of years. And but he took the car, so now I've got 2 teenage boys that I'm also trying to drive to school in the morning. And like one of them just recently got a job, and sometimes he has to work at 4, but I'm not getting off work till 4, you know. And then the other one's got football, and so I feel like I'm spending so much time just on the road running kids. So I'm running kids before school and then after school, so then that's cutting into time for running errands. So that's just like the kind of the, you know, job and like work and family stuff. But then I'm in grad school, you know, so like Tuesdays I have class at 4:30, and so I'm running straight from work to class, and then you know, and then homework, and then I have classes on weekends and stuff. So then my weekend time's getting eaten up, you know. And it's fine, 'cause, like, school isn't super stressful for me. I mean, it's kind of like one extra thing, like an extra thing on my plate, but it's not super stressful for me really, because actually it's like really supportive. You know, and like I love the people that I go to school with and stuff, so, but it's just kind of one extra thing, you know.
Right.
But so that's just life. But now I'm also getting divorced, and we're not using lawyers, we're doing it ourselves. So there's been all that paperwork and trying to work with him to get everything figured out, you know, and to come to terms of agreement. And there's been a couple of things that he's done that have just been really just added more stress, you know. So there's of course that, which, and I mean, and that is it is big, I guess, but you know, I mean, I'm handling it, but it is big. But I don't think it's the divorce as much as everything else is going along with the divorce. So like, and then we had to sell our house, you know, neither one of us could afford to keep it. So then I'm in the process of selling a home, and in the process of selling the home, we got an offer within 10 days, so that was good. But since that time, I've had to make arrangements to get the roof fixed. I had to make arrangements to get the septic tank pumped. I had to make arrangements to get 2 cracked windows fixed. I had to make arrangements to get our chimney cleaned, and that took nearly a month to get somebody to like even get a hold of somebody to come and do it.
Right.
And then, well, I finally got somebody to come out and do it the other day. And when he looked at the chimneys, he texted me and said, well, I didn't even try and clean them because, and then he listed all these problems with it and said it was going to cost $3,000 to fix it. So then that freaked me out because I'm like, great, we're going to lose this deal just over that, you know. And then they had their inspection, and with their home inspection, there were things that they asked for. So then I had to make arrangements to get a restoration company to come out and look at a place where we'd had some water intrusion in the spring. I had to get electricians to come out and fix some stuff. I had to call Idaho Power to get them to come out and cut some tree branches from, and then they gave me news and said, well, it's actually the homeowner's responsibility to take care of the trees, but, you know, anyway, so it's just been like all these phone calls and everything that I've had to make. Like, selling a house by itself is like stressful enough.
Right.
You know, but I've had to do all of that myself, and trying to make those phone calls, and I'm sitting in class from 8:30 to 4. You know, so trying to make those phone calls and make those arrangements and get my dog out of the house so that people can come and all of that, you know, so that's been super stressful. I think that's probably what has caused me like the most stress.
Is the house?
I think the arrangements for just through that whole process. I really think that's probably like the biggest stress causer right now. But then the other big stress causer was then I had to find a place to live. You know, and I had to, and everything that I looked at was garbage, like it was just junk, you know, and so I've had to kind of raise my price range a little bit, but the only way I could do that is because my mom, bless her heart, is giving me like $500 a month to put towards my rent until I can get a better job, you know, and so I had to find a place to live, and luckily, like, everything fell into place, and the price of divine intervention kind of like helped me find a place, So I mean, I have that, but then of course now trying to move, and I'm moving next week, and I haven't had the heart to tell my kids it's time to start packing. I mean, I know that they know that it is, but like they don't want to move, they don't want to, and so I'm having a hard time like, telling them, okay, I really need you to help and get, plus they're not home. I mean, like I said, between work and football and, I've got one that's, he's working today and he's going to homecoming, and so, so there's all of that.
It really sounds like you have a lot on your plate right now. It really does.
Yeah, I think probably more than I ever have. I think the stress is probably.
So let's try to focus on what you said was kind of the big stress ball right now. Let's talk a little bit more about that. You said just finding the arrangements to sell your house, but what's going on there?
Well, I mean, a lot of that's kind of like improving, and now at this point I think the chimney was kind of the last thing that needed to be taken care of. It was just the process over the last few weeks of like getting all of that stuff. Like I just the chimney was kind of the last thing that the last thing that really needed to be taken care of. And I did find out from my realtor last night that the buyers would agree to, so I had it added up. I think I called 6 different companies to try and get the chimney taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, 2 of them didn't even do chimneys, and they referred me to somebody else. And then I called this one company, the one that finally came out. And the first time I called him, he was so rude, I didn't even want to give him my business. So then I started calling other places, and called another one that doesn't even have a voicemail set up, and then called another one, but they were scheduled so far out, And then I got finally got another name of somebody, but he's scheduled clear out to for the second week of November. And so my realtor came up with the idea of, well, maybe, because I don't really trust that guy. That guy that came and looked at the chimneys finally the other day,
mm-hmm.
And they said it was going to cost me $3,000.
Right.
He was the one that was so rude the first time I called. And he just, I don't know, I just don't really trust him. I don't want him working on my house. And my realtor said that he had dealt with him, with some other sellers, and those sellers were he would say that stuff needed to be done, and then the realtor would say no it doesn't, and then he would have already done it, and kind of feel like he's just trying to make more money.
Right.
Anyway, so we did find out that the bank and the sellers will accept, we're going to prepay somebody else to come out and do it, and then they'll come out in November and do it, but it'll be paid for, and then if there's problems from there, then the new homeowners can take care of it. But so that's kind of, but I just had a really bad day yesterday.
Tell me about it. Tell me about your day.
So I think why I finally came in is because I had felt like I was handling things pretty well. And pretty much people just keep going, man, how are you handling all of that? And you're doing so well and so resilient and whatever. But I'm realizing that I'm maybe not handling it as well as I think I am, because little things are setting me off. The big stuff is fine. I can totally deal with it, and it doesn't send me into a tailspin, but little stuff is setting me off.
Tell me more about that. What little things are the little causes to those set off?
People driving too slow in front of me. Anything I can't control. Seriously, people driving too slow in front of me, and I lose it, and I start swearing, yesterday, so I actually left work about half an hour early. I even let my kids out of class 3 minutes early, and left and ran to the high school and picked up my son, and then I ran over to sign the lease. And my son was hungry, and he gets really cranky, and he gets really kind of mean and cruel when he's hungry and whiny. And so he was complaining that he had to go sit through us signing the lease. And I was already kind of stressing, because even though I'm I'm kind of relieved to be getting divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to get my own place, but I'm so like, I don't know, just yesterday, just kind of like, just realizing like, just getting my own place, you know, and it was like, I don't know, maybe not as exciting as I thought it was going to be, and it was just kind of like really hitting me, you know.
Yeah, like it just hit you that the changes all happening.
Yeah, so that was kind of really hitting me, you know, and then to have him act in the way that he was, you know. And so we get in there, we get the lease signed, and I was trying to get the lease signed so that we could go over to the house, so that we could do the walkthrough inspection with the lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I had class last night, so then I was like, okay, well, how am I gonna get over there and get that, and then get him taken home and make it back to class in time? And then when I went to sign the lease, they're like, oh, well, you've got to go down to the water department as well. So I'm running down to the water department. He's whining about needing food. So I was like, forget it. So I just pulled into McDonald's drive-thru, you know, and because it didn't look like there was hardly anybody there. And then I got around the side of the building and realized there was this huge long line, and just having to wait for him, like, just put me into this huge panic attack. And I'm trying to be there for him, you know, but he's just whining and complaining. And I finally was just like, not now. I can't do this right now. I'm like, you need to understand how much anxiety I'm having right now. So then, of course, he has to go into, well, I'm having anxiety because I have to go see this house that I'm going to have to live in 50% of the time. Like, and he just, and I was not there for him at all, because I was just like, you know what, not now. Not now.
Well, it sounds like you have all this pressure on you to do it by yourself. You sound like you're overwhelmed by everything that you have to do, and
I think I'm just getting to the point where it's like time, you know, it's just like things are starting to wind down, you know, like I'm moving next week. We have our parenting classes coming up. Once parenting classes are done, I can file the decree. So like I'm getting to the tail end of it. And I think maybe that's why it's finally hitting me, because I haven't had even a moment to breathe, let alone time to take care of myself.
Right, it sounds like that. It sounds like you need, I was just thinking maybe we need to sit and breathe for a few seconds, because you've been going so hard for so long. It sounds like now it's starting, all the effects of everything that's happening are starting to catch up with you. Because you've been running full speed, and that's probably, you know, you said everybody says how amazing it is, how well you're handling it. And I think maybe you've been handling it so well, it's all starting to catch up to you. And now is the time you should probably start working on you.
Yeah.
To really focus on making sure you are taking self-care so you can be there.
Yeah. Well, and I will tell you, right now is not a good time. Like, I like mindfulness exercises and breathing exercises and yoga and stuff, but now is not the time for that. I had a classmate yesterday that was trying to get me to breathe, and I just had to tell her not right now.
Right. Okay. That's
so
okay. We want to make what
other
works
things,
for you.
you know.
Well,
right now I'm at a point where it's like I think I just like I need to move.
Right.
Like, moving is the better. And I know that it's because I'm running away and not wanting to deal with everything. Breathing makes me have to deal with it. You know.
Okay.
Moving.
So maybe
makes me not have to
instead
deal
of
with it.
having to focus on everything, we could work on just one thing that can kind of help you. Maybe it's not breathing. Maybe that's not the best technique for you, but maybe we could come up with a plan that for some different way you can have some self-care, so you can not maybe physically be breathing, but to kind of take a step back and kind of not let all of these things pile up on top of you, kind of help you come up with a way that makes you put that first foot forward in this process. It sounds like so many things, you're sounding like you feel that everything's on you, that you're doing this all by yourself. Is there anything you do for self-care that has worked in the past, maybe?
Yeah, I really like hiking, actually. I like going down and hiking at Durkee's, and I was doing that a lot this summer.
And
so
what changed? What changed in there?
Everything. School, going back to school was the big one.
Okay. Like
So-
back to work or back to school? school?
Back to work, because I've been in school the whole time, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So it sounds like we have a good place to start, maybe.
Yeah, I'd really like to get back to that.
So hiking, getting that self-care. So maybe we could come up with some kind of plan to get you hiking some more. Maybe give you that me time you need, because right now you're doing a lot of time where you're fixing other things for other people, or you're getting things always in the need for someone else. So maybe we can try to come up with a couple days a week that we can maybe go hiking, give you that me time where you can kind of just shut down from the rest of the world and just keep going forward, walking, climbing, hiking, whatever it is you need to do. Is that something you think you could squeeze into your schedule?
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding the time and, you know, making the time in my schedule and honestly having the energy, you know, because it's like my friend wanted to go the other day and I just was like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to go. Like, I do want to, but I don't, you know, because right now I'm so like, that it's like, even taking time to do that, it's like, oh my gosh, I should be packing, I should be doing this or that, you know, and so but I know that I felt better. I did go, and then I felt better after I went, so I need to just, I just need to go and just like make the time, and I need to not be so all or nothing, because I'm pretty like, if I can't go every single day, then I'm not going to go at all, you know, I need to like pick and choose and make sure, you know.
Is there a part of your day where you feel like you need it the most? Is it right after work? Are you feeling?
Well, I really like going in the mornings, but that doesn't work anymore because of school schedules and stuff. So I like going in the mornings because then that starts my day off strong, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it'd have to be like afternoons, maybe while, you know, Jeffrey's working and Eric's at football.
How many days do you think you can try committing to getting out and hiking, even for 10, 15 minutes? Maybe, like you said you have an all or nothing kind of mentality about it. Do you feel like you can, there's 3 days a week you try, 2 days a week?
I think I could probably strive for 3 days a week just to start, and then, you know, and remind myself like it could be on the weekends too, and maybe I only get like Saturday and Sunday and then like Wednesday or something, you know. It's just, I just need to do it when I can and not be, you know, not be thinking, oh, if I can't do it every day, I'm not going to go.
Right. Does it help you to have accountability, to have somebody?
For sure.
So maybe that's something you can think of trying to do, is maybe if you have somebody to go with, it will help you push you out of that, I don't have time, to make time to do something like that. So do you think it's Saturday now? Do you think by next Saturday, next time we meet again, we could have maybe gone hiking at least 2 times to see if you are able to have your me time and really help you step away from the outside world and all the stressors that are happening in your life?
Yeah.
You think that might be something we can do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then we will meet next Saturday.
Okay.
Is this time work for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Well, good luck to you in hiking, and hopefully we'll have a good next meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Where's the button?
We had a minute 9 seconds.